ready to kick off day 2 of IPL 3 Origins. We're kicking off with a doozy. If you like Terran, you're gonna love this matchup. ThorZaIN taking on SeleCT here. And our first map is going to be, what are we on? Oh, Zelnaga Fortress?
And these two guys got a bit of history together, to be honest. They played a lot in EG Masters Cup. They've also played in the MLG, and back then, SeleCT wasn't quite the monster he is now, and ThorZaIN took the series quite convincingly back down. I think he won like 4-0.
Well, let's introduce our players over here in the red. As the Terran spawning in the east, we've got Mao's ThorZaIN. Give it up. And over here in the northwest position, SupSun pretty much summarizes this guy. It is Dignitas SeleCT as our blue Terran in the northwest.
And I don't even know how to predict how this game will go, DJ Wheat, because both of these guys have spent a lot of time in Korea. And the thing is, SeleCT is just kind of embracing the Korea experience. But at the same time, ThorZaIN spent so long in the Slayers pro gaming house, and they really do specialize in Terran, that is for sure.
I'd be scared of a guy who's Terran that got to train in the Slayer's house against some great Terrans, and not only in mechanics, but obviously in just theory of the game and the approach to the matchup. So yeah, I would guess that has to have some sort of weight on how SeleCT is going to actually choose to play this game out. And also, we should mention, Paul, that because there was so much time in between when they were originally supposed to play and now, that can do a lot to a player in terms of how you are prepared for that matchup. They woke up, they thought they were going into battle, and suddenly it's like you got to just sit next to the guy that you're supposed to go at the throat for here, and you know, that could add to a lot to what's going to happen here.
And it really did play in two ways, because SeleCT was really keen to play earlier this morning, like a couple of hours ago, and ThorZaIN wasn't, and now the kind of roles have reversed. And ThorZaIN's now relaxed, he's into his slow mode, and kind of SeleCT, on the other hand, fell asleep almost backstage, so we'll have to see how that does play in. And both of these players, I mean, ThorZaIN likes bio. I mean, he's been training, well, he was training previously with the Slayers team, and equally, SeleCT is a very bio opening kind of style too, and look at that.
He's blocking he's using the SCV to just block the barracks from falling down. He wants to put down that tech lab really bad, but that was delayed by a good little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when that happens, you really can't go for the tech lab or reactor anymore, because it's just been too delayed. So he might as well just throw down a factory or something. Well, he actually does decide to go with the tech lab anyway once the SCV leaves. And, well, he's got no Marine because of that either, so he's got no way to deny any scouting information whatsoever.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, and, you know, something where I'm not sure, you know, he had built it right there. I'm not sure why the lift happened in the first place, but anyway, regardless, that Marine is out. Scouting SCV is probably not going to be able to get additional information here. We have another Marine that's going to pop on the ramp any moment, and there he is. So it is shut down, but all that's inside is, of course, the factory, which ThorZaIN would likely be going this way anyway, so, you know, SeleCT is just a little in the dark.
Yeah, it looks like ThorZaIN may be opening for, you know, a Hellion Marine drop here. It's hard to say at the moment, but it looks like that's the thing he wants to be looking to do. Meanwhile, SeleCT is opening for a couple of Reapers here, and I mean, if that's hidden, which I think it still is, the tech lab is still hidden, and depending if he saves them up, he could do a lot of damage, but definitely he's going to be able to get in there early to get a bit of scanning information, and to kind of saving energy. Doesn't really want to scan this early on or whatever.
Yeah, I think, you know, more for the scouting ability here. And will we have some, no, we have just a supply depot being constructed over here, but the Reaper will get in. He can do a little bit of damage. There's some Marines at the front. The SCV will somewhat distract as the Reaper goes in through the back, and here he goes. And let's just take a look at his vision. He does kill the SCV next to that supply depot. However, it was finished already. He sees the the factory and did manage to see that the tech lab was going down. Whether he actually clicked on it, I'm sure he has a good idea. But we were joking about it earlier. We could be seeing some Banshees come out here.
Yeah, well, the thing is, what he didn't scout was the second gas. So he doesn't know if it's Cloak Banshees or not yet. And that's something he will want to try to get in there for. because obviously that can give you a lot of information just seeing that second gas overall. And meanwhile, he is going for 3 barracks bio only so far. Well, both of these players have got a relative early command center here. Nobody really taking the option to scan yet. Want to just save all their energy for mules. And here are 3 Reapers, and they're going to be able to just one-shot a lot of SCVs here.
Yeah, I kind of like the whole continuation of the Reapers here as he's made a few more, and we do have the scan coming out by SeleCT. It goes down, and he will see
dummies. A dummy of a cloak here.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, so he actually started researching that upgrade there, and then kind of canceled it and was like, I'm not actually going to do that. So now SeleCT maybe thinking, oh, Cloak Banshees, and now he's automatically throwing down an engineering bay. He's going to have to save energy, and he doesn't really have anything yet. Only 25 on pretty much both of them. So, I mean, he's kind of, how many turrets is he going to throw down? He's going to definitely throw down one. He may throw down a second one as well, but that's pretty smart so far from ThorZaIN.
And here comes the Banshee, but I think it pretty much did sort of the damage that it wanted to do, which is the metal damage. Now, any kill that this Banshee gets is going to be beneficial. He's just going to kind of play the the back and forth, the cat and mouse here with these Marines. But what you said is absolutely correct. If you think about the resources now that SeleCT has thrown into that to make sure that if it was indeed Cloak, he would not be finding himself in a really, really horrible position. But this Banshee has got absolutely nothing right now, and I do not believe that he followed up with a second. No, he went ahead and went for a Raven next.
And we have these 3 Reapers on the way now down the south side. They're going to be able to go in, and there are a few Marines left over, but oh no, he actually decides to move a few away. He's going to be able to go in and get a lot of kills here. And how fast will ThorZaIN react?
Well, there are a few Marines over on the side. They're going to one-shot them. Great to control there by SeleCT as he takes back the 1 weak Reaper, but there's a tank and a couple Marines there to stop that. So ultimately, what, he killed 3 Marines?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was it. And he did get a bit of scouting information as well, saw that the starport had been lifted off the tech lab and a barracks been placed. And now he knows that the stim will be starting very, very shortly here for ThorZaIN. And that's something about ThorZaIN. One of his kind of special abilities, you could say, is that his builds are so down to the wire, to the very unit placement. He is very precise with that.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that before, not only in some of his other matches, but even here, knowing that the threats were there on the side, just leaving a couple Marines there for the to handle the Reaper. Very, very smart move here. But we see ThorZaIN now kind of compiling a bio army with the 1 siege tank at the front. His first medevacs are out, and keep in mind he also does have that 1 Raven. But just now we're seeing Reactor come out on the factory, and I certainly feel like SeleCT. In terms of units, with just his Marine force, I'm not sure how strong he actually is. I mean, 1 siege is actually no siege coming out at all yet for ThorZaIN, but if he manages to get siege up, where is SeleCT going to go from here, Apollo?
Well, he's got a +1 attack on his bio, so that's going to really help out. The thing what he really needs to do if playing against biomech is you can't really fight head on. You have to drop multiple times. So we do have the factory that did build a reactor and then put onto a starport, so he's going to be able to build double medivacs from now on, and he's really got to push the multitasking capabilities of ThorZaIN here.
What is this screen that I see here?
I have one too.
Yeah, I don't know if the I don't know. You guys can see their faces better than I can right now, but that is an indication of not so wonderful things. But we'll still have to stand by. Do they look like they're playing? Okay. All right, guys.
All right. I don't know.
Apologies. I'll boo along with you. So we could think about what could happen in that game. The Marines were moving out. The Banshee was going in to harass the natural. And
is it just the observer that's counting down that we may be able to continue with this?
Maybe.
It seems like the internet kind of switched off for a split second, but it seems like it's possibly turned back on now.
Okay. We might lose an observer. So they're still both there. Observer is gone.
Continue, so we can
we're
go
technically
back to
in the game. So let's.
Right.
Nothing to see here, folks. Yeah. Sorry, Observer B, you'll have to join in the next game. And yes, we did have the Banshee making his way over, but interruption. I don't know if he forgot about that. The Banshee does go down from the Marines. A quick little pickup there by SeleCT. And we continue on with this game.
We do indeed, and we now back into the game screen as well for you guys to see it. And basically, we still haven't seen any harassment yet from SeleCT, but he's definitely going to need to start doing that soon. And we haven't even got combat shields yet. He's going to want to start that. That is ThorZaIN. We'll want to start combat shields very, very shortly. It's a very, very important kind of upgrade in this scenario when playing kind of Marine versus Marine. And I'm sure that SeleCT will want to start double engineering bay very, very shortly to really push his upgrades far. Because when playing bio versus bio mech or mech in general, you really need to push those upgrades.
And there's going to be a Marine versus Reaper battle here, and the Reaper wins easily, as he was just watching for any sort of anything that could come down that way and preparing possibly for another base when the time comes. But now we've got the command center is being built here by ThorZaIN. And you know, you mentioned the double engineering bay. He just has the 1-up right now, but he's got +1 armor about ready to complete. And in terms of upgrades, like he really has taken a solid lead here, as ThorZaIN is just about to complete his +1 attack.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't already thrown down that armor in that second engineering bay to kind of keep them in sync, which I'm sure we're going to see SeleCT throw down very, very shortly here. And we do have a drop planned here from ThorZaIN at the north side. It is going to be moving down there very, very shortly. And looking at the back of the base, there's a sensor tower just come up. ThorZaIN's definitely going to have to turn around here.
It's literally, you're flying over there, all of a sudden it just pops out of nowhere, and this drop is not going to be too successful. In fact,
wow.
don't go in there. Don't go in.
Huge
Oh! And SeleCT, I mean, he didn't really even have to work, but here's the bigger deal. Not only does he get the first little bit of damage, but a second one is a command center goes down. And Apollo, that's so important too, because of course that means SeleCT has one base up over his opponent, and this drop in the south.
Is the Marine gonna see it though? I don't think he's
I don't
just
think he
outside
is.
of the range actually, so ThorZaIN's gonna get that, and he's gonna be able to kill a lot of SCVs here. There's an orbital command being made too. At the same time though, ThorZaIN was not happy with that command center being blown up and is on the move.
Yeah, you know, the other thing is that ThorZaIN has tanks out with Siege, but SeleCT is just finished up as well. Here comes a drop from the back. The missile turret has just started going up, and there's absolutely nothing over by this base. It's also an orbital command about ready to be morphed here. He may have to cancel. He does not cancel. The missile turret goes down, and it's very possible we will see this orbital fall, but actually there should be enough Marines heading on over here from SeleCT. In fact, ThorZaIN will just go ahead and pick up, and look at how low that medevac is, so wise move there by ThorZaIN.
And the army count is a little bit in favor of SeleCT right now, but he does have a lot of units in his main base protecting from any drops, which he doesn't really need to keep there anymore because of the sensor tower. You know, ThorZaIN's not going to make the same mistake twice and send a drop north side, but look at this. ThorZaIN is going to be looking to push forward very, very shortly. And the thing is, though, in this matchup, it is so difficult to engage. You can't really look to go in with everything at once unless you have a really significant advantage, and you have to jump on players' mistakes.
There's the perfect scan to see the army of his opponent in the middle. Looks like that drop did try to go in here, but it was quickly cleaned up by SeleCT as he left a bunch of Marines over there to handle anything. And we have now a revenge drop, if you will, 2 medevacs here in the southeast. But this Marine, he didn't catch him either. There are 3 Marines here, so it's very, very possible he's going to see this particular drop over here. Looks like Reaper tried to go in up through there. But SeleCT now just kind of I guess, just rotating and changing his positioning.
He could definitely just swing around the back of the army right now. ThorZaIN's caught in the middle. He's going to have to unsiege and pull some units around. He starts to siege up and starts to cut the map in half. And there is a south drop once again from ThorZaIN that's going to be coming down. At the same time, though, SeleCT is about to throw both of those medevacs in his main base.
And there's the scan. Both medevacs do go down. A few Marines do react quickly, but they know that the force that SeleCT has just thrown into the base cannot take on what is going on. There is one tank sieged up in the back, and this will get cleaned up, but we also have another drop coming out by ThorZaIN.
And a huge engagement in the center of the map as well. As SeleCT decides to go in and absolutely melts everything here, though he can't break that tank line, but he definitely broke the Marines down.
That's going to leave the supply at 162 to 146 SeleCT with a little bit of a lead. And here come the SCVs off the line and the Marines moving on over to take care of that drop. There were still some Marines inside of ThorZaIN's base that finally got cleaned up. What damage did they do? I think I remember seeing an armory over here and maybe even an engineering bay. I could be completely wrong. There we have, yes, I think there was another engineering bay being made over there. But already being behind in upgrades, that could put ThorZaIN a little bit more behind, as I think +2 is about to finish here, and it just has for SeleCT and +2 armor already on its way.
Oh, and SeleCT's going to charge into the south side and actually loses 2 tanks right off the bat to a better position.
not really sure about that when the Marines are going to come in, and those tanks actually had some really, really good coverage. A lot of Marines were lost there that I'm not sure needed to be, but a lot of tanks were lost over on ThorZaIN's side. In fact, no, that did not seem like a favorable exchange for Select at all.
No, that didn't work out whatsoever. I don't think he really expected the tank line to be that far back, and he lost a lot more than he gained there. Meanwhile, ThorZaIN's taking a 4th base at the south side, is transferring SCVs down, gonna take double gas immediately. It's very important to be able to take that gas to continue with the upgrades, and so far Select only on 3 bases, and he's gonna fall behind in his economy.
And you know, to think that he was ahead not too long ago and even had some successful drops here, he might need to consider going at it again. But of course, we do have a planetary down there in the southeast for ThorZaIN. So right now, 180, 185, where ThorZaIN has caught up very, very quickly in the overall supply. I'm taking a quick look at the unit tab. It is 66 Marines for Select, 59 for ThorZaIN, and a 9 to 11 tank lead, again in favor of ThorZaIN. Also 6 medevacs on both sides. But don't forget the other story here, which is, of course, the upgrades, where ThorZaIN's only at 1-1, Select is at 2-2, and I believe has vehicle upgrades as well.
And ThorZaIN drops now and is like, oh, you don't have a 4th base yet at the south side? And he's like, all right, well, I guess I should go to your 3rd again. He knows that he's at a decent advantage, and once again, we are going to see the Spoon Killer just literally sit there and suffocate his opponent.
That's exactly what he's doing, is he has put himself in a position where it's going to be very, very hard to siege or move forward or gain ground, but also he's spreading himself out so that 4th base will be very, very hard to secure. And here comes a drop from the back. We do have a few Marines over here. Oh, he may go right for the inside or the natural, and I gotta guess that he would probably go for the inside there. I don't know. The natural is not covered at all as long as he avoids this missile turret, and he is going inside. He could take out a fair amount of SCVs, but it looks like that medevac's going to fall, and only 4 Marines get out.
Wow, and they're going to be able to do a bit of damage. He's going to have to force Select to pull units back. He is dropping as well on the bottom right-hand side, and will be going to this base down here, which is a planetary fortress. A couple of Marines there, so he won't be able to do that much damage, to be honest, since there are a lot of Marines being able to come south side as well. And 2 Marines may even get this medevac. Okay, it's going to be okay, but it's going to go into the main base and get sniped off if he continues.
Nice. That was actually good recovery there by ThorZaIN, as he does manage to keep that alive. Meanwhile, in the middle, we're having very much a back-and-forth battle here. The amount of Marines that Select has looks just monstrous here, because most of them are here inside the middle. Tank count still in ThorZaIN's lead, but Select is taking a huge lead on the upgrades and is going to have 3-3 finishing very, very soon. And ThorZaIN's at full supply. So, you know, I mean, who attacks first?
Look at this. He's actually building 4 command centers at once right now on the natural. And he's going to be able to drop into the top main base as well here for Select. And he doesn't even care about this sensor tower now. Nope. And Select has no units anywhere. They're by his 4th base at the moment, and this could do so much damage. The engineering base are in threat. +3 attack could go down here, DJ Wheat.
Oh my gosh, and it does look like it's so close to going down. It is going to go down before it finishes. The Marines are going to come in just a little bit too late, Apollo, but +3 armor looks like it will be saved.
Well, the one advantage Select had was his upgrades, and
That's
that just
true.
got stopped now. So ThorZaIN's looking in a pretty good shape right now, and you know, Select is trying to kind of combat the middle of this map, but he actually can't. He throw away so many tanks over and over in really bad engagements, and that's not good for him whatsoever. And there are so many orbital commands up now for ThorZaIN with these 4 completing here. He's going to be able to sacrifice SCVs very, very shortly to actually maximize his army when losing those supply into SCVs. And look at this now, that Select is moving down the south side, looking for a different way to kind of break through, and this may be the kind of option he needs.
Yeah, he needs to figure out how to get a few more bases up. He doesn't want ThorZaIN to take a huge lead in that economy. And this attack here, ThorZaIN does not want to go into this. He is going to attack. He realizes that there are so many Marines. He loses 1 medevac. The second medevac can't even get those Marines to escape. And, you know, honestly, he could choose to just go in there and take it, but instead he's going to move forward and go for the base in the southeast. Oh, just as SCVs are transferring, but ThorZaIN will be ready for that. He's going to go for the repair on the planetary, but it does go down. And actually, losing SCVs here would not be a horrible thing for ThorZaIN.
Look at this. It looks like the World Cyber Games circle in the middle of the map at the moment as ThorZaIN moves to the left-hand side, and Select already picks up, but now Select's army is in the middle of nowhere right now, and he could... Well, actually, there's not that many tanks here protecting this base.
Oh, there's almost none. In fact, he's going to siege up 3 in the back, and that might be perfect timing here. But all the SCVs were taken off mining. Meanwhile, we've got ThorZaIN moving forward with a large number of tanks. Where are SeleCT's
Oh, he's going to
tanks?
drop onto the tanks.
Oh, he is going to drop right up on top. Look at that, a lot of the tanks going down, and 1, 2, possibly a third as SeleCT does clean it up, but it puts ThorZaIN in a great tank advantage.
And in the main base of ThorZaIN right now, SeleCT picked up all his units and is going to town on the production facilities of ThorZaIN, and tables have turned once again. But as soon as these 2 tanks do fall with this Raven, which is going to throw a couple of auto turrets down outside the natural of SeleCT, the natural's going to open right up and ThorZaIN can walk in.
Yes, but what is going on here? Like, what is ThorZaIN going to do about this as it turns into a base race? He does have other bases, but can he keep up with the production in time? That is the question, of course, that we'll be finding out soon enough. Right now, ThorZaIN is not going any further into his opponent's base, but he also knows that the economy is pretty restricted right now, as he will continue to just try to do as much harass as he can, while SeleCT is just having a heyday inside ThorZaIN's base.
Wow, and now ThorZaIN's forced to make 6 barracks at the south side, and you know, to be honest, the way that SeleCT's kind of camped up his natural, there's 3 siege tanks there. That's pretty safe, and big attack here in the center of the map. Now ThorZaIN with a large force, SCV's been pulled off as well.
Yeah, the tanks are there though, and the Marines are enough. And ThorZaIN is going to be put back a lot, dropping down to 88 supply, 94 now, and he does manage to clean up those Marines, but look at how low these tanks are, and SeleCT still eating ThorZaIN's base from the inside. A lot of these orbitals moving over now, but where is the production? There's an SCV over here that's got a good read on what is going on. Is 2 more racks and 2 factories. Problem is that SeleCT's base, for the most part, as long as he can keep up an economy, has better and more production at this point.
Oh, SeleCT decides to jump on ThorZaIN's left-hand side, and the containment has now been broken down. And ThorZaIN's army, there's nothing left.
There's nothing left. I don't know, 70 supply, 133. It looked like when ThorZaIN was making his way into SeleCT base, there was going to be a good opportunity there, but unfortunately, and he's going to chase down these command centers. There's nothing that these orbitals can do as they're trying to fly off to the side. That means no more bases, no more income here for ThorZaIN. SeleCT's now moving down, and this could be the killing blow for game 1.
Wow, this game is actually messing with my mind. So many circles and back and forth action, and SeleCT's going to move in. He has too many tanks. In the unit tab, we have 8 tanks now, 0 for ThorZaIN, 88 Marines to 22.
Yeah, this is not going to be good. Here we go, the exchange starting up. I'm not quite sure about those tanks just rolling in. The Marines do focus fire down a couple of them. And ThorZaIN says GG, and SeleCT takes game number 1.
Wow, that was pretty impressive by both players. And it's kind of hard to see where things